Hi everyone. Yes, Christmas decoration time. I'm going to have a go at making two different versions of these. Oh, first of all, excuse the state of my hand. I had a nasty fall the other day. You should have seen it when I first did it. This isn't getting better. Anyway, yes, I'm going to have a go at two different takes on these lovely little moulds. This is a very economical set. I'll put you the link down in the video description below. Now, the two different versions I want to do are one with resin and one we're going to try and use EcoPore. Now, the smart money says this is going to be too fine to use EcoPore, but I do want to try it. So watch on because we're going to try both in this video. So it's a two-parter. First of all, let's get the resin one done. Now, what you've got is a couple of houses. Then you've got a lot of little trees. Now, almost like that's your background tree to go with that one and so on. You've got a base, but yes, that's the point, look, you see, because this base has got to put your candles, obviously battery candles if you're doing a resin one, and then it's got slots that these little pieces all just fit in. So it's going to be fun, isn't it? Lots of different pieces. So I've cleared a bit more space than I usually have here, and we'll work our way through them. Now, the glitters and things that I'm going to use with the resin are, first of all, we've got Super Sparkle White, which is a kind of very, very sparkly mica powder. And I think I'm going to do the base completely in that. So it'll be like just sparkly snow. We've also got some rose gold glitter, which I'm extremely fond of, which I'm going to use in the trees and the houses. We'll use some flourish paste, which is like a white shimmery paste. It needs a good stir, but you'll see more when I come to use it. It sticks brilliantly to resin. You will not get it off. I've tried to scratch it off, but I thought this would make nice snow on the tops of the houses and things like that. And it's very much like the Super Sparkle glitter, only in paste form. Isn't it nice? And it dries really quickly too. Right, let's get on. So what we're going to do then is mix up our resin, and this is probably not enough. This bit's going to be really easy, so feel free to whiz past this if you want, because all I'm going to be doing is chucking a load of Super Sparkle White in my resin and lobbing it in that base. Now, I'm using plenty because this is readily available, and it's expensive, so I'm quite happy with using a lot of it. There we go. So it's like a mica, but chunkier, and it sparkles. Isn't it gorgeous? So I'm just going to lob that in. Just make sure it's mixed well throughout. Yeah, clearly going to need a load more, so I'll see you. I won't make you watch that. What it does show, though, is you could do different colour lines if you wanted. If you wanted, like, your foreground snow and your next layer, I don't know, icy blue or pink or whatever you wanted to do, you could. And then just do the back layer in, obviously, in a different colour. But I just want this whole thing to be sparkly white. So I'll carry on and I'll see you later. Well, I'll push this out of the way and we'll get on to do our little houses. Right, so we've got our Super Sparkle White in. I wish I'd mixed it all in one batch. It's gone everywhere, look, everywhere's glittery. I wish I'd mixed it all in one batch because obviously I must have had more glitter, more of the sparkle in some of the pours than others. But so I've got it a bit uneven, but maybe that'll add to the effect. Anyway, I'm going to try and move it, the houses and trees. Now, what I want to try and achieve with these, and you may have seen me do this quite a lot lately, I'm rather partial to like a smoked effect. So I'm thinking smoke, sort of smoky, brownish, you know, a nice warm smoky colour anyway. Let me just pull this back a bit. There we are. And then a little bit of glitter in them, but not too much, just to give it a little bit of sparkle. Just trying to fit all these into shot for you. There we are. Let's come across a bit. Got them. Right. Trying not to go off the edge of the mat with this one because it'll obviously it might tip the mould a little bit and it won't be so level. So colour wise, what I've got is a black resin dye from Let's Resin. I have got a brown, it's actually an alcohol ink because I can't find my brown dye, so that's a bit inconvenient. And I'm going to try to get something like, this is the sort of colour I've been using for my little houses. So we're going to go for something like that. So a dot of each initially. This is nowhere near enough resin. I'm just trying to get the colour right first. Quite a bit of the brown because I find the black takes over, which is what you'd expect. But let's try and get our colour right. Is that smoky? Yeah, that's smoky. Might need a dot more black, I don't know. But this is for the houses. I'm going to do some similar sort of exercise for the trees. And don't forget, once I put it into these thinner pieces, it's not going to be quite as dark, is it? You can see on my stick it's a lot lighter. And I'm just thinking maybe the bottom of the trees I'll do with this too. I think we're getting there. So I'm just going to start pouring it into one of the houses just to see if the colour's just right or not, or whether I need to add a bit more colour or whatever. Let's bring our little houses back in shot. I think that's pretty good. I didn't want too much colour, just say a smoky effect, but with a bit of sparkle. And I think that's pretty much spot on. Obviously, these are going to look great with candles behind them, aren't they? Like I said, there will have to be battery candles for these, which is why I want to try the EcoPore version second, because I think, well, I don't think it'll work because of the fine detail. I think it'll just snap. But we'll see. But if it does work, and that's the second reason, is that, of course, you can use real candles with EcoPore. Just letting that settle into all the nooks and crannies. Satisfying watching resin moving around, isn't it? Even if it has just got glitter in it. Take these up to level with the top. Apparently they will fit in those slots quite nicely, so we don't need to worry about, overfilling or whatever. We certainly don't want to underfill, that's the thing. So right up to the brim, not doming it, just flush with the top. Right, got a little bit left, which is as I hoped. So we'll put a bit at the bottom of each Christmas tree. Yeah, it's going to flow along, it will. But when we put our green in, it should push it back. Now, do I put any sparkle in the green is the question. Might do. Have I got any green fine glitter is the question. I could just put gold, couldn't I? Because it will go green with the whatever pigment I put in anyway. Oh, I judge that's just right, totally by accident. Okay, right, onto our green. And the colours we're going to be using for that. I've got emerald green and I've got light green. Don't know which really. Maybe the emerald green, because I'm going to go for this glitter, I think. So let's see, I'll get a load of resin ready. Right, let's play with the colours before we go any further. How light is the light green? I'm thinking to be Christmassy. Emerald green might be better. These are from Let's Resin again. It's their resin dye set. And I want a reasonable amount of colour, so let's see how light green is. That's 3 drops in, not very much resin. I like the colour a lot, but I think it might be too light. So let's go for 3 drops of the emerald. Oops, 4. Yeah, I think that's it. Going to need a lot more resin though, obviously, so back in a moment. I think it's still going to want to be deeper, so let's just go a few more dots of the emerald, because I've got a fair bit more resin to add yet. So there we go. That's nice. Where's our glitter? Let's just see what the glitter's going to do, because I don't want to make it too much with the glitter. Nice. Still not quite at the colour I wanted, and it could be because I put some of that light green in first, I don't know. But I'm going to try a bit of peacock blue, which actually comes out more like green, like a bluey green. Ah, there we go. That's it. Nailed it. Right, bit more resin, and we'll be good to go. Question is that enough to do all of these? Just had a thought for it as well. For that base, I think what I might do is put some little crystal clusters on it too. I think that'd be pretty, wouldn't it? Might be a bit over the top, but who knows? We'll give it a try. Well, clearly I am going to need more of this. Okay, so I've ended up with a bit that I think is stronger green. So I'm going to put a little bit of it in the top of each of the trees we've already done. Probably more glitter as well. Let that work its way down. In fact, I might go around the edges. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go around the edges. I do need a bit more in those anyway. There we are. There's a lot more glitter in this as well. I got a bit carried away. And then let's do these. So yeah, these were going to be a lot more subtle. There's going to be a lot less glitter. Just didn't work, did it? I don't do subtle very well, do I? Oops, she says, spilling it out. And what I'm doing now is I'm rather liking that colour blend thing that I'm going on with some of these trees. So I'm just going to put a little bit more in the bottom of these. Put a little bit more of the smoky brown, only really dark, in the bottom of each, because I think that's just a bit too subtle. By the way, while I'm here, I just want to say thank you so much to my channel members, to everybody who watches, particularly those of you who watch through the whole video. That's absolutely awesome. Thank you so much. And also want to say a big thanks to people who sent me a super thanks recently. I've had quite a few come through, and I know I don't like to embarrass people by thanking them by name, but I hope you received my acknowledgements and thanks. It's something that means... It's something very important, I think, to thank people. I have sent, or at least acknowledge, I have sent super thanks to a couple of other resin crafters recently, because I've just seen videos that I thought, wow, brilliant, thank you. So I've sent a little super thanks, and whilst I don't expect gushing thank yous or anything, I do kind of like it if they reply and let me know that they've received them okay. I have messaged them and again not received a reply, which seems really strange to me. Anyway, just know that I appreciate you all very much, and I will always acknowledge and thank you because, yeah, you want to know it's arrived safely. I know you don't expect torrents of thanks, but I appreciate very, very, very much, and it is important to me for you to know that, yes, it's arrived safely. So thanks, everyone. It all helps. They all add up, even the smaller amounts. It makes such a big difference because although I do get a lot of my materials free now, and of course I do get paid by YouTube and so on, there's still an awful lot of expense involved. None the least, things like insurance, things like buying camera equipment and so on, and the extra heating and lighting for my house because I'm now here in the day working and having to put the heating on so the resin actually cures. There are expenses all the same. So thank you. Without your support and without you all watching the videos, that's a biggie. Without you all watching the videos so that YouTube can pay me as well, this actually would not be possible. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so we have our colours. I think I've got quite a nice blend going on. There's a lot more glitter than I intended. We've got a nice blend going on with the trees and with the houses now, because I think that'll be a nice contrast to the snow. And yeah, I did have a bit of a spillage, and at one point I dropped one of these wipes in them as well, which wasn't good. But we're just going to leave these to cure. When we come back, we're going to, I think I will do like a little bit of a crystally snow pile effect in the base, which could be quite fun to do. And also we're going to use the flourish paste to create some snow. So I'll see you later. Just pop back to check on them all. They're looking good. Gonna have a funky bit of overspill there, but I wanted to make sure was that I hadn't gone up too deep because I had to take a little bit of the resin off. I'd inadvertently gone over these raised bits. So I think I've got it just right now, which is good. Anyway, while I'm popping back here, there's another big thank you I need to say, and that is to Anne. Anne is one of my lovely subscribers, and she'd spotted my Amazon wish list. So Anne has very kindly sent me these. That's where this mould set came from. So Anne, thank you so, so much. When I put together that Amazon wish list, I didn't actually expect anybody to do anything with it. So that was quite amazing. Thank you very much indeed. You're the first person to be kind enough to do that. And I do love this set. It's fantastic. Right, I think these are still bendy a little bit. Let's see how this is. Because I'd like to get the... Yeah, this is okay. I'd like to get the bits done that I was on about. Those, come on out. You know, the crystally snow piles. I would like to do those. And then it's quite late in the evening here. I'll do the... Oh, that's nice. I'll do the rest of the little details on the other bits in the morning. But I wanted to get this out and at least get this done so that the detail bits will have cured. So let's move my camera to the back. There we are. And zoom in. Isn't that sparkly? It's quite silver in that on my camera, I can see. But it is actually quite white. Right, crystals. Here we go. Some various sizes of glass chips. And then I've got this, which is fine glass pieces. This incredible sparkle. What we want first is a bit of the chunky stuff. Now I'm going to stick this on with a bit of UV resin. It looks like it's time to crack open a new bottle. So this is Apex ultraviolet curing resin. And I've got my clip-on UV lamps hovering above this, so we'll be able to use those to stick it all down. Now, question is, which is the front and which is the back? I can't remember. I think it's that way around. I'd have to have a look at the pictures. I might put some front and back anyway, because then I've got the versatility to go either way. I think it's that way around. Anyway, I'll do some front and back, because then it can be either. So these are chunks of, I think it's fire glass they call it, because it's for fires. These are fires that look like flames and they're not, so that means you can have anything in them. Now, I've got to be careful not to overhang this line here, because obviously that is where the that's where the little trees and houses are going to slot in. And I don't think I want to do too much anyway. I wonder if this is the right way around. Seems logical to me. Like I said, I'll do a bit at the back here, because then it can be either way around, can't it? Because these are crushed glass, they're all different sizes and shapes. So we can pick big bits, little bits, whatever we fancy. Now I'm just going to make sure we're not overhanging. Right, that's their big pieces. I'll just put my UV light on those while I... Oops, that's the wrong one. While I sort out our next lot. Another little bit, a bit of resin to go in here. We're just going to put some smaller chunks of glass. And what I've got is some that are kind of like a crystal AB finish. Again, I've got to make sure I don't end up going down into the slot. Well, I can with this. It's just I don't want... I mean, I can't get the glued pieces into the slot, is what I mean. So again, we're just going to get a flat edge and go like so. Same over here. Now I'm dropping some of these into the slots. As long as I remember to clean them out, no bits sticking out. Right, ultraviolet lights again. I'm hoping that's still tacky. I've just given it just the tiniest little whiz with the ultraviolet light. And then we're going to put some of this crystal glass on. Diamond glass, whatever they call it. It is very fine. It looks like glitter, but it is actually glass. Wonderful stuff. You probably won't be able to see the difference that this is making in this light. You'll have to take my word for it, because by morning, when everything has firmed up properly and we can get these trees off and do our flourish paste on them, I'll slide these trees in. Just make sure we're definitely not sticking anything on there. Nope, all looking good. Then, yeah, this is little pots of magic stuff. UV lights again, and then that's it. I'll see you in the morning and we'll do these trees. Right, next morning I've started demoulding. They're nice and firm. And yeah, they fit in there. Trees, I think I've done them too thick. What I might do is just sand the bases a bit thinner. You live and learn. Right, I think I've just noticed these moulds have got a little tab that tells you how much resin they use. I didn't notice that. Does they? Pretty good for a cheap mould. Yeah, well, not so expensive, let's put it like that. Great. Yeah, I've definitely poured some of these a bit too thick. Just this one, it seems. I might just pour it again. That might be the easy answer, mightn't it? Tell you what, let me just change my camera angle so you can see them going into the... There we go. Let's just bring that down. So you can see them going into the little thing. See, I think these go at the back. I ought to go and look at the picture, hadn't I? But yeah, I think you do it so that they're like the shadows. Yeah, that one's barely gone in. Definitely poured them a bit too thick. Anyway, you get the idea. Ah, there we go. It's just this one. In fact, I might take that one out of there. Do we have one of these here? Yeah, just need to sand those down a bit. Never mind. So, aren't they looking cute? Get the snow done, and then what I'm going to do is just get a nail file and go across the back of these until they're thin enough to go in. But note, guys, if you get one of these little sets, just don't fill them quite right up. I just instinctively did, but it seems you don't need to. Right, let's get the snow done on them. Right then, next project, if you remember, I said this is going to be a two-parter, was to see whether EcoPore would work in these. Now, clearly, it'd work in that. There's no point testing that until we know it works. Clearly, it's going to work in these. No problem. It's the houses that are the issue. Excuse my messy mat. And the reason I say that is because of all these little fine details. So I'm just going to pour some EcoPore in these first of all. And if they work, then we can do the rest of them. For anybody who hasn't seen EcoPore before, it is my casting powder of choice. It's actually called EcoPore, and it is one of these just add water ones, and it's from Just For You Online UK. As usual, links for everything down in the video description, including the resin and the EcoPore. I've got discount codes for you on both of those. So I'm going to mix up probably too much just to be on the safe side, but I'm just mixing it in a little pot because clearly we're not going to need that much. Sorry again about my injured hand. If I think this has happened between videos. I had a bit of a nasty fall. You'll see the information on what happened in one of my other videos, if you so wish. Anyway, it's on the mend, but I don't need gloves for this, so you can see in it warts and all. I'm trying to let the air get to it. It's got glitter in it. I don't know if you can see that, but in the scabby bit, there's a glitter. Anyway, talking of glitter, yes, I was going to put a little bit of glitter on these, just in case it works. Let's get a bit of sparkle on there. And what sparkle shall we use? I wonder if I'll pick that Super Sparkle White up, because that is pretty much like a glitter, isn't it? Now, how to get this to sprinkle very fine is the question, because it gets all over me. Yeah, what do you do when you actually just want a tiny bit? Ah, here we go. Let's try this. This is a cocktail stirrer spoon. Oh yeah, that's made it snow. There we go. I've not tried this on the surface of EcoPore before. I could have just put it on the top, I suppose, but anyway.
let's just see what happens. Right, and now we just need water. For anybody who's not come across EcoPool before as well, let me just explain. It is a just add water. You need 10 parts powder to 3 parts water, or thereabouts. What I've done is I've mixed it a little bit runnier. Now, because it's just add water, rather than a two-parter, with a part A and a part B sort of thing, you can get away with mixing it a bit runnier or a bit thicker, depending on what effect you're trying to get. Now, I've gone for a little bit thinner because of all these little intricate bits. I want to make sure it'll run between them, which it is. Look, there we are. Does mean it'll take a bit longer than usual to cure, but see how lovely and white it is. Love how white EcoPool is. People often ask, what white pigment do I need to make my eco casting powders white? And you don't. Some you do, but not EcoPool. I've heard people call other powders EcoPool, but this is actual EcoPool. I'm going to need just a tiny spot more in that one. Oops. Just learning from my lesson of making the other one slightly too thick. Having said that, this would be a lot easier to sand than resin. Apex resin cures really, really hard. I had to get Mark and his sander on it in the end. So yeah, if you get these moulds, don't do like I did and fill them right up to the brim. Now I'm going to go close to the brim with these, because obviously I'm going to want some thickness to them to get some sort of strength, but I'm not going to kind of dome it up above. Mind you struggle to dome with the casting powders anyway, don't you? Right, let's just see what happens then. I'm going to leave them longer than usual, actually. I mean, this will probably have cured within an hour and be normally I would say it would be ready to demould after half an hour. But what I'm going to do is actually leave it for a couple of hours, because then it'll start to build up more strength. And because when you first demould it isn't at full strength. Usually it takes a couple of days or more to get to absolute full strength. So I'm going to leave it, longer. When I get back, I'll tell you how long it's been, and that hopefully will mean that it's got a lot more strength into it before we try to demould all these fiddly little delicate bits. Then if it works, I'll do the trees and everything as well. So I'll see you later. Right, how brave are you feeling, folks? Let's do it. What's the smart money on today then, that it won't work? It's been 5 hours, by the way. So it isn't at full strength, but it's well on its way. More than it would have been at the usual sort of demould after half an hour point. Okay, so far so good. We're just getting down to these fiddly bits. Just going to pull the mould, try to peel the mould gently away. I should be amazed if this works. It's these little, look at that. Right, so whoever messaged me and said, oh, and the glitter's worked. Oh, got a bubble. Oh well. Whoever messaged me and said you can't use EcoPool with these moulds. I can't even remember who it was. Somebody had seen it somewhere. Anyway, you can. Let's see if this one does as well. Yep. You know what? Actually, I'm surprised because I didn't think you could. Oh, wasn't that lovely? Right, I'm going to pour some in the rest of the pieces and we're going to end up with 2 makes. So you don't need to see me do that. I'm just going to replicate exactly what I've done with these bits, just on these bigger pieces. And, oh, that's nice. It has picked up the sparkle. Shame about that hole, but never mind. I'm not going to lose any sleep over that. But yes, I'm going to just do the same with the rest of these pieces. It looks like I need to have a damn good clear up. So what you'll be seeing next is some photos. I've got to find me some tea lights. I've got some battery tea lights somewhere, I'm sure I have. So yeah, we'll have a quick final look at them, all assembled. So hang in there, because I think you'd like to see these all finished, wouldn't you? I'll see you later. Well, I hope that's answered the question about whether this set of moulds works for EcoPool. I hope you like this one, everyone, and it's given you some ideas. Please do drop any questions down in the comments below. I do my best to answer all of your questions, and if there's anything else you'd like to see me have a go at, anything that you think might be impossible, then give me a shout. If it's impossible, we'll soon find out. And if you've been intrigued by this EcoPool, then don't forget I've got a whole playlist on eco resin alternatives and such like, and the link for that will be coming up right at the end of this video near the top of the screen. So watch on and do enjoy. Take care everyone, and happy Christmas. Bye then.